I've just discovered a buffalo and he has frozen looking at me. If he starts heading this way, I'm not supposed to run. And he's looking like he might. We're halfway up the trail. It's 1,500 meters, but I've been walking for 15 minutes, as you can tell by my sweaty head. I think it's 1,500 meters straight up, not total distance, but it is possible that 40 Cambodian cigarettes a day have taken a toll. I refuse to believe that. I think it's 1,500 meters straight up, because there's no way I'm this unfit. I refuse to believe it. But we are at Kbal Spean. I'm definitely saying that wrong. Here's a clip of someone who can say it right.
Kbal Spean.
I've just got to the point in this clearing where I can hear the water coming from just over there. Hopefully, even in the dry season, there's a little bit of water, some lovely imagery of these Hindu carvings under the babbling brook. Let's go find out.
Today we are at Prasat Temple, and unfortunately Toby really is gone now. He's gone to Laos, I think, which is definitely not where we're going next. I've come on a bike, serious hole, and I've not killed myself. It's just behind me. It's gone really well. A lovely lady's just invited me to a shop. I said I'll go afterwards because we're at one of the lesser visited temples, which is evidenced by the fact that there is nobody here. It is early. It's about 7 AM. Today we're going to have a look around Prasat. I'm about to get my ticket checked by this lovely man. Dr. Vai.
Hello, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Last day today.
Yeah, sad.
Thank you.
Welcome. Any of the lesser visited temples here, if you took them and moved them brick by brick, or if they were just on their own somewhere in a different country, they would be the absolute main tourist attraction. You know, this is still phenomenal, and there's nobody here. Later in the video today, we're going to visit another temple that is about an hour's drive away. It's still on the same ticket, and there's a lot of examples of that. So if you do come out and you buy yourself a ticket, do speak to either a tour guide or stay at Pool Party Hostel and speak to Sokwan, and he'll give you loads of really useful information. We're also going to see a river. I'm not sure if the course of the river has changed over the 1,000 years since the carvings were put in place, but there's a lot of Hindu carvings kind of under the water. But with it being dry season, it might differ from the pictures that I've been seeing online, but we'll see together in a moment. Do you know what people who love to visit completely empty temples do? Sometimes they leave a like. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have something to admit. I got the name of the temple completely wrong. I have a notoriously bad sense of direction, and where we actually are is East Mebon. It was built in the 10th century by King Rajadravarman. I think I got the pronunciation of that horribly incorrect. However, built in the 10th century, and it used to be on an artificial island. Everything that we're standing on now is an artificial island in the middle of one of the large reservoirs here, which was called East Barai. But over the course of time, that reservoir has now dried up, so you would have no idea that you used to be standing on an island. And there's plenty of temples that still are in the middle of these ancient reservoirs. There's one, in fact, in West Barai, which, if you watch the video with Sokya, where we went to fix the roads and meet some local people, he is from right near West Barai. That is where the road actually goes to, between his village and that reservoir. It's so nice just being completely alone in this massive temple complex, because everywhere else, if you were at Ankor right now, there's thousands of people. But this is 10 minutes away and deserted. This temple is famous for its animal statues. Here we've got an elephant. It's all original. Unfortunately, it seems as though the lion heads haven't fared as well as the elephants over the years. They're gone. One difficulty I've identified when you're in places like this is because it's so rural, you feel bad if you're splitting a big note. And unfortunately today, I'm running out of small change already. So if you are going to come to a place like this, make sure that you break your notes in a 7-Eleven or a larger Khmer supermarket where they're going to have enough to split it, and it will just make things a lot easier for you. What we will do is go and see that nice lady who invited us to her shop and have a coffee. Why not? Ooh, I have the iced lemon tea. Dao Kima Song Chanko Barai Bang. The only sentence I know pretty well is how to ask for something, but the only thing that I know how to say in Khmer is ashtray, so I need to change that. I learned beer, but I forgot it. So we've made it to Prasat Beng Malea. Again, sorry for butchering the pronunciation. This temple's sort of been left to its own devices rather than cleaning it all up and having gardeners and all that kind of thing. So it should look a little more rustic, more like we're 18th century explorers kind of finding it for the west, I suppose. That doesn't sound very good, does it? It's gonna look cool. Ticket check, as with everywhere. I'm sure I explained in a previous video, but you go to the ticket office and you can get 1, 3 or 7 days. Soxabai.
Soxabai. Last day.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yep, so you get your ticket, the ticket office, your 1, 3, 7 day. And then you can use it over, I think the 7 day must be over a month, I don't know. The 3 day ticket's over 10 days. And then every temple that you go to, pretty much, each different one, they have a ticket check guy, and they're always polite and nice, and they're checking that you're wearing the right clothes and that kind of thing, because you've got to be covered up. If you notice, I'm wearing jeans in 30-degree heat because I pack poorly for these kind of trips. This temple that we've just started exploring is called Prasat Beng Malea, and until recently it was almost completely inaccessible unless you were an experienced kind of jungle hiker, but a recent road's been built nearby, so now it's getting more and more visitors. However, still very, very calm compared to Ankor, which lies around 25 miles to the west of here. This temple was built on the King's Royal Highway, and that's why it's here. So you can have a nice little worship before you get to the big spot. This temple is the least restored of the ones that really get visited. You wouldn't know though, which means that the restorations at the other one must be really convincing. It definitely looks as though this area down here would have been filled with water previously, judging by this area here. I found out after the fact that Prasat Beng Malea in fact does still somewhat fill with water during the wet season. The walkways at this temple are noticeably different. I mean, this section's just on the wall here, obviously remade out of wood to keep it nice and safe. As it's unrestored, chosen to build kind of a separate walkway that doesn't follow the flow of the temple, which is kind of better. It's nice to have the variety of an unrestored one alongside the remastered ones. Did I just say remastered? I meant carefully, archaeologically, and with great diligence repaired ones. I keep getting a few dodgy looks from the tour guides today, and I think it's because of the gimbal and the microphone. Because if you're filming for business purposes, you need a permit. However, I don't make any money on my YouTube channel, so this is recreational use, I think. If not, I apologise, but I don't think it counts. If I'm not making money off it, it doesn't count, right? I don't know if the microphone will pick it up, but the real difference with this one is the fact that it's unrestored, which is very nice. And also, there's so many animals, because we're in a part of the jungle that was just, I don't know if it's been protected, but it's kind of been protected by not having too many tourists here until the road was built. You just can hear so many animals. It's really nice. So we've come to the moat around the temple. Much like Angkor Wat, this temple has a moat around the outside. I don't know whether for protection or religious reasons. If I find out, here's a clip of me explaining it. The moats surrounding Ankor were envisioned as earthly models of the oceans that surround the world. Also, quick sidebar, guess which country I'm in? If you get it right in the comments, I will give you a crisp high five emoji. And there is a clue in this frame. But what's quite interesting is the growth in the moat. You can see all that greenery there is coming straight out of the water. So I assume when Angkor Wat was rediscovered, if it was left for a while, the whole moat would have been that way, so it would have been a big clear-up operation. If I can find any pictures of Angkor Wat in the 1800s when it was rediscovered by the West, I'll put them here.
I've just discovered a buffalo and he has frozen looking at me. If he starts heading this way, I'm not supposed to run. And he's looking like he might. He's really looking like he might. I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna look him in the eyes. I'm just gonna leave.
After leaving the beautiful nature of Prasat Beng Malea and getting almost chased out of town by that bison, I stopped at a roundabout between there and Kbal Spean for some noodles, and this kid was very entertained by the fact that I was there, but his mum kept telling him off and telling him not to bother me. Hi there. Here we are. We're in Kabul Spean. We're halfway up the trail, 1,500 meters straight up. There's no way I'm this unfit. I refuse to believe it. You can see some Hindu rock carvings underneath the water in the wet season. I'm not so sure about the dry season, but I'm feeling quite hopeful. We are nearly there. How far have we got left? We've got 300 meters left, and it's 35 degrees and like 90% humidity, so woo! And I can hear the water. So that's really good news, because with it being dry season, I did not know if there was going to be any. Let's go check out these carvings. Just a quick reminder, while I'm betting my swits off on this tree, on this little hike up to the Hindu carvings, a like, a comment, and a subscribe will give me the juice to keep going. Thank you. All jokes aside, I think it's time for a bit of payoff, don't you? So here's some lovely carvings. Judging by the course of the river here, I would say that in the wet season, these are probably quite often submerged as well, these carvings here. These bumps were carved by hermits in the 11th century and are called lingas. They blessed the river in the name of Shiva. The river later fills the religious sites of the Ankor complex further downstream with the blessed water. I didn't realise there's carvings, you know, looking up and down the river. There's a lot actually, quite a few of them are broken off. Again, I think in the wet season, I do think the water rises over this top here. Perhaps not all the time, but when floods come, I think so, because looking at the erosion and the kind of the still pools of water that are left there, it seems they get filled up. But then I suppose it could be with rainwater. I am very much reminded, being here, of the clip that I took years ago with Jackie in China. It is time for the most epic jump in history. How do you feel?
Smashing.
Are you scared?
What? A little.
About the jump? It's going to be very drastic, I will show you now. We have to cross a river. It is a raging torrent. Oh, that's a scary river. Let us try.
Okay. Oh, all right. It's looking good. We're going well. Oh,
This is when you
Yes.
actually fall over.
come on, Jackie. Oh, she made it. Get to the chopper. Oh.
Because right now
We are about to cross a very dangerous river. Oh, step 1 is good.
my Arnie needs work, I know.
Step 2. Step 3. And we are safe. Get to the chopper.
I feel like a complete mental person running through the woods, well, jungle. I feel like a complete crazy person running through the jungle doing Schwarzenegger impressions, and I apologise for how bad that was. I'm sure I was better at it when I was 13. Maybe just more confident. I found a cool bug, but he looks, he's got one of those colours that says, don't mess with me. If anybody knows what this bug is, leave it in the comments. Those red spots are making me think it could be dangerous, but I don't think so. Well, that was absolutely lovely. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I'm just going to head down back to the waterfall and very politely ask the man sleeping there, hopefully he's woken up, if I can go in the waterfall, because I am roasting, and that would be a lovely way to cool off. This is challenge for the knee at the moment. This doesn't feel slippy. Right, I'm going to jump right there, and it's not going to be so wet that I sink. Yay! Wonderful. Myself being a silly sod, I brought a towel with me all day. I left it in the butt end of the bike, so get my shoes on and that. It's a bit tricky, and I think I have to wear a shirt back down out of respect, so that's going to be a bit soppy too.
Great success.
I am absolutely chuffed to bits with that. I feel like moments like that are sometimes exactly what comes into people's heads when you say travel. That's their like ideal day. Tiny little trek, see some really cool stuff, and hop in a waterfall. It's one of the, I don't know, one of the 5 things I picture when I think about travel is finding a waterfall just like that and getting in, and just so nice. It's lovely, really lovely. There's been butterflies, there's been a bison that did chase me a little bit, but fortunately I didn't realise while I was getting worried about it, he was tied up with a string about this thick. So if he'd have wanted to get me, he'd have got me. But he seemed to forget about me after a while. There's some more of those little red bugs there. Hoping someone puts that in the comments. I don't think I'm smart enough to Google and be sure that that would be that bug. We need are they arthropods? Do we need an arthopologist? Is that what they are? Maybe. If you know an arthopologist, go and tell him to tell us. Seems to be 2 different subspecies as well, because they've got different markings on their backs. Or could be different markings for different sex. Who knows? Someone does. Please tell the rest of us.